Hey guys, welcome back to another episode with Pixel Web. In today's episode, we're going to look at a website, Politifact.com. The reason why I want to take a look at it is because obviously we hear a lot of stuff in the news about what the candidates are saying, what they're promising, and what they're saying about each other primarily. So, with the Republican convention over and the Democratic convention on as we speak, I want to take a look at this site just to get an understanding of what the truth is. So that's what this website does. It takes the information that's being spoken about from each candidate and their campaigns and the parties, and it deciphers what is accurate and what is not accurate. So let's take a look at it. So first, let's look at Donald Trump's information here based on the personalities profile and some of the information they have gathered on his statements. So here it says Donald Trump's file, Republican from New York. He has been a real estate developer. We know that. He's an entrepreneur. He's a TV personality, and he's the Republican presidential nominee. All right, so the scorecard shows that true, 4%, mostly true, 10%, half truth, 15, then 16, false. Most of his statements, 37%, are shown to be false, and pants on fire is 18%. All right, so now we take a look at some of the comments that they're looking at. So recent statements involving Donald Trump. So this says when an interviewer asked Donald Trump if he treats women with respect, Trump replied, "I can't say that." Apparently this is mostly false. This one's from Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, Tim Kaine, and this one is from Donald Trump himself. All right, so an analysis showed that Bernie Sanders would have won the Democratic nomination if it were not for the super delegates. This shows to be absolutely false. The claim does not add up based on the information provided. So these are just some of the statements involving Donald Trump and some of the true statements and the false statements and things of that nature. Move on to Hillary. Let's look at hers. So we know Hillary's background. She is the former First Lady. She's the former U.S. Senator. She's a former Secretary of State. She is the Democratic nominee for the presidential election for the Democrats. All right, so this goes on showing the scorecard for her, showing some of the information that's true all the way down to pants on fire. So recent statements involving Hillary. Says when an interviewer asked Donald Trump if he respects women, we saw this one in the previous one. We see that information there. All right, so now says Hillary Clinton supported North American Free Trade Agreement, and she supported China's entrance into the World Trade Organization. She supported the job-killing trade deal with South Korea. She supported the Trans-Pacific Partnership. So this one, carefully phrased, but needs more context, mostly true. All right, so this shows some of the comments and about Hillary Clinton. So we see the comparison between Donald Trump, some of the true statements about him and the false ones. And the same thing for Hillary, some of the true and the false statements. So now when we go on to the latest from the Politifact, Bill Clinton, as Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton worked hard to get strong sanctions against Iran's nuclear program and got Russia and China to support them. This is mostly true. She was a key player. So this is the truth. It's a true statement, mostly true statement. Here, the approval of the United States was 20 points higher when Hillary Clinton left the Secretary of State's office than when she took it. It rose, but not by that much, so half-truth. So they say that, yes, indeed, the approval of the United States did increase when she was Secretary of State, but maybe not by as much as the former president said. So this shows you some information that you can go through and check to verify, is what the people saying about their candidates or what the candidate's saying, is it true? It's important to understand, obviously the political jargon can get confusing, and we hear statements from both sides, from the Democrats and the Republicans, that they're targeting towards the opposition and then taking credit for certain things. So you want to verify whether it's true or not. And this is a good website to do that. So if you want to know more about the Politifact website, it shows their process. You can check that out, their staff, who pays for Politifact. So let's take a look at that. So it's important to know where the money comes from, right? Because this will tell you if they're swayed towards any particular direction. As we've gained new readers over the years, every now and then we get emails that ask who's paying for this website, who's putting out the information. The short answer is Politifact is a project of the Tampa Bay Times and its partners news organizations. So that's that. The answer to that question is a little long, but interesting. All right, so this goes further into who is behind this website. Apparently the goal of the website is to decipher the information being presented. And let's see what they say about President Obama's top 25 priorities, promises. So it shows the promises that he's made and if they were fulfilled or not fulfilled. So this is pretty good information to take a look at. Let's look at the GOP pledgeometer. So this shows you some of their topics that they made promises on and the ones they kept and the promises that they broke. So this is pretty interesting. You can check out, individuals. Bernie Sanders has a page here up. That one's a bad gateway. Something happened with the page. Let's try that again. Yeah, something happened there. You got a 502 bad gateway. Something wrong with the server for that page. All right, so now let's take a look at something else. Let's see. National. Okay, so again, this is going back towards the recent Democratic Convention show from yesterday. See 2016, and this shows some of the information from there. Let's see if we can find out from the Republican conventions. Bad gateway. Something's wrong with their server configuration, where we're not getting good results in their queries. So they should definitely check that out. All right. So now let's see if there's any other location that we can look at some of the statements. All right. So we're looking at the pants on fire. These are outright inaccurate statements that are being said. So from Donald Trump Jr., unemployment numbers are artificial numbers. These are numbers that are massaged to make the existing economy look good, to make this administration look good when, in fact, it's a total disaster. So this one is complete. This statement right here is completely false. Pants on fire, not true at all. Cookbooks claim up in flames. All right, so let's look at Donald Trump's. On gift taking, Bob McDonald took a fraction of what Tim Kaine took. Completely inaccurate. You mean the other way around. So this statement was completely wrong. And then now on to Hillary's. I am the only candidate who ran in either primary who said I would not raise taxes on the middle class. Not counting 15 Republicans, so this one is inaccurate as well. Donald Trump's inaccurate statement says Ted Cruz never denied his father was photographed with Lee Harvey Oswald. That's actually false. He denied it a month ago. Antonio Sabato Jr. says President Barack Obama is absolutely a Muslim. That's obviously inaccurate. If you saw his comment, he says that he feels he's a Muslim. Well, that's not. You can't feel somebody's beliefs. A person is what a person is. So if a person is Christian, they're Christian. If a person's Muslim, they're Muslim. You don't feel somebody. So that's obviously inaccurate. And this goes on to view other people's, comments and to grade them based on, their validity. All right, so take a look at this website. It's a nice website to get some inside tips on whether what's being said is true or false, and you get the rundown so you can make a clearer decision based on the promises that are kept. So take a look at politifact.com and take a look at what they say about the various issues being presented. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. If you like this episode, hit the thumbs up down below and leave your comments and suggestions below, and we'll take a look at that. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.